guys, I'm Stephanie,
And I'm Tiffany.
and we are
Sisters of the South.
We are here today with another true crime story. But before we get started, we'd like to ask you to please hit that like button. Also, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so every time Sisters of the South drops a new video, you can come join us. Also, we'd like to give a big shout out to our friends and vendor, SoFly.
So fly.
SoFly!
Not so small.
Not no more!
Yeah.
SoFly is a family-owned company here in the Houston, Texas area, and they specialize in embroidery and in lasering on accessories such as a hoodie, a cap, an apron, a t-shirt. Also, they do laser work on tumblers, carving boards, keychains, and they will specialize it to your needs. They do our merchandise. They do a beautiful job. We'd like for you to check them out. We know that you'll love them, but just to give you an idea of how great they are, we're going to show you a video. So here we go.
All right, guys. We hope you like that video. Go check them out. Let them know we sent you. And if you buy something, send us a picture.
Absolutely. And we will link their information in the description box below. So I'm going to hand it over to Tiff now to get us started on the story.
All right, guys. Glenna Susan Sue Sharp was born on March 29th, 1945 in Springfield, Massachusetts. She lived in Connecticut with her husband and their 5 children. In July 1979, after separating from her abusive husband, James Sharp, Sue decided to move with her 5 kids to Northern California where her brother lived. Once in California, Sue rented a small trailer formerly occupied by her brother, but the following fall, she had saved up enough money to get a house of her own. Sue and her kids, John 15, Sheila age 14, Tina age 12, Rick age 10, and Greg age 5, moved into the rural Sierra Nevada community of Keddie, California into cabin number 28. On the evening of April 11, 1981, Sheila had plans to spend the night at a friend's house that lived close by in cabin number 27 and left shortly after 8 p.m. That left Sue at home with Rick, Greg, and the boy's young neighbor friend, Justin Smart. John was also at home with his friend Dana Hall Wingate. Tina returned home around 9:30 p.m. after watching TV at another residence. The next morning around 8 a.m., Sheila returned home from her friend's house to find the dead bodies of Sue, John, and Dana in the living room. All 3 had been bound with electrical cords and medical tape. Sheila ran next door to alert the Seabolts, whom she had stayed with the night before. Tina was missing from the home, while the 3 younger boys, Rick, Greg, and Justin, were found physically unharmed in another bedroom and were retrieved safely through the window.
Oh, wow.
Sad. 2 bloodied knives and 1 hammer were found at the scene. Blood spatter evidence from inside the house indicated that the murders had taken place in the living room. Sue was discovered lying on her side near the living room sofa, nude from the waist down and gagged with her own underwear, which had been secured with tape. She had been stabbed in the chest and throat. There was an imprint matching the butt of a Daisy 880 Powerline BB pellet rifle. John was found with his throat slashed. Dana had multiple head injuries and had been strangled to death. John and Dana both suffered blunt force trauma to their heads caused by 1 or more hammers. Sheila and the Seabolt family claimed they heard no commotion during the night. Several neighbors, including the Seabolts, recalled seeing a green van parked at the Sharps' house around 9 p.m., and a couple living in cabin number 16 claimed they were awakened at 1:15 a.m. by what sounded like muffled screaming.
Man, that would be loud.
I know.
Because they're 28 and that's 16. Cabin
That's down the street.
Yeah.
Justin had conflicting stories of that night, saying that he had dreamed details of the murders. He was soon put under hypnosis, where he claimed to have seen Sue with two men. Based on Justin's descriptions, composite sketches of the two unknown men were produced. The suspects were described being in their late 20s to early 30s. One stood between 5'11 and 6'2", with dark blonde hair, and the other between 5'6 and 5'10 with black greased hair. Both wore gold-framed sunglasses. Tina's disappearance was initially investigated by the FBI as a possible abduction, although it was reported on April 29, 1981, that the FBI backed off the search as the California State Department of Justice was doing an adequate job and made the FBI's presence unnecessary. A grid pattern search of the area covering a 5-mile radius around the house was conducted with police canines and no sign of Tina.
Wow.
On April 11, 1984, a bottle collector discovered the cranium portion of a human skull and part of a mandible at camp number 18. The remains were confirmed to be those of 12-year-old Tina Sharp in June 1984.
How sad.
Shortly after announcing the discovery, the Butte County Sheriff's Office received an anonymous call that identified the remains as belonging to Tina. But the call was not documented. A tape containing a recording of the call was found at the bottom of an evidence box at some point after 2013 by a deputy who was assigned to the case.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? That long?
Why did they
Decades.
never do anything about that? Someone randomly calls the police department and says, hey, yeah, that's Tina's body. Oh, okay, thanks.
Holy cow.
The house in which the murders occurred was demolished in 2004. According to a 2016 article in the Sacramento Bee, Martin Smart, who was Justin Smart's father, remember Justin Smart's the friend that spent the night?
Yes.
Had left Keddie, California and driven to Reno, Nevada shortly after the murders. While there, he sent a letter to his wife mentioning personal struggles in their marriage, which he concluded by stating, quote, I've paid the price of your love, and now I've bought it with 4 people's lives.
Okay.
A counselor whom Smart regularly visited also alleged that he had admitted to the murders of Sue and Tina, but claimed, I didn't have anything to do with the boys.
Okay.
He allegedly told the counselor that Tina was killed to prevent her from identifying him, as she had witnessed the whole thing. Okay, so Martin Smart had also told police right after the murders that he was missing a hammer from his garage.
Okay.
Well, on March 24th, 2016, a hammer matching the description of the one Smart had claimed to have lost was discovered in a local pond and taken into evidence. So Plumas County Sheriff Greg Hagwood, who was 16 years old at the time of the murders and knew the Sharp family, stated the location it was found, it would have been intentionally put there. It would not have been accidentally misplaced.
Interesting.
So police also stated that at the time, 6 potential suspects were being examined. In April 2018, police stated that DNA evidence recovered from a piece of tape at the crime scene matched that of a known living suspect. To this day, the Keddie cabin murders are still unsolved.
So who is the matching DNA?
They
Who's
have
the
never
person?
said.
So it's a mystery person, and why would they not? Why would they not pursue that?
I'm not sure. Maybe they just are kind of holding it close for now. I'm not sure, but it's been 8 years now.
They're running out of time because the people that did this, they're getting older.
Yeah.
Now is the best time to do it. So I don't understand the hesitancy of it. In case, if it's possible that this case could drain the county if they're kind of a poor county, and if they end up having to go to trial, the funds may be too much for the county or the little city or whatever, and that could be a possibility. I think a lot of times things like that are found are not pursued due to money.
Yeah, it is a small community.
Yeah, so that could highly be the case, but that doesn't mean that this shouldn't be brought to justice. I mean, all of them need justice in their names, you know? And I can't believe that that cabin, I knew that they had torn it down in 2004, but I can't believe that cabin stood that long, to be honest with you.
I know.
I mean, that's horrific.
I just have to wonder, about the little boy that was under hypnosis and saw, you know, her
Saw
speaking with
everything.
two men,
Yeah,
and then
and
his dad comes up with stuff. I don't know. It's just
yeah,
so suspicious.
yeah. And where are these people today? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, I would like to know that too. It doesn't mention anything about them today.
And what would the ex-wife, or I don't know if they got a divorce, but what would the wife, ex-wife, or the spouse, what was her idea? What did she think?
Well, and that's the thing is, where did it go from there? He sent a letter and then you did what?
Yes, I mean, basically admitting that four people lost their lives. I
Yeah.
mean, not basically.
And then
He admitted
admitting to
it.
his therapist. So, okay.
I mean, I would be running to the police going,
But then
"Hey,
again, they had an anonymous phone call that they didn't check into either. Like, yeah, guys, that's Tina's body.
yeah, but that
And they're
was
like,
left on a
okay, cool,
tape
thanks.
at the bottom of a desk till 2013.
Yeah.
It makes me think that it's a cover up.
Yeah, they're just not doing anything.
Yeah. So, man, I just hope if anything ever happens to me or my family members that someone can step up and do their due diligence in getting justice. And I would do the same. And like none of this bullshit, oh, we left a tape in here for 25 years or, you know, none of that. Like that's crazy to me. And it could just be someone who is just literally so lazy and inept that they just left it there and never opened the drawer
But they
again.
never investigated really. So the whole thing is
Yeah.
just,
But it also leaves you to speculate that it could be a cover up too.
yeah, maybe they knew someone. I don't
And
know.
then decades later, it's found in, I mean, what are you going to do with it now
It's just so sad. She moved there
to
to
get
get
a
away
better
from a
start?
hard
Yes.
life and
Hmm.
start over
Yes.
fresh.
Yes.
And yeah, where's the ex-husband? Did they ever find the ex-husband, her
Right.
ex-husband, and talk to him? And
Yeah.
it's just,
It's just sad.
it's sad.
Hmm.
So, guys, yeah, let us know what you think. Who do you think did this? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you on this. I think it was the neighbor. Especially since, he wrote the letter and talked to his therapist. Hello, when someone admits to something, believe them.
Well, I feel like that's kind of a thing now. I guess it's always been that way, but like, oh, they confessed. Well, I still don't believe it.
I don't believe you. Yeah.
But, we also know someone that was close to us years ago that was murdered for his truck,
Yes.
and the man admitted to it. He
Hmm.
confessed, and it
Hmm.
still took them 4 years to convict him
Yes. Took
of the
forever
crime he confessed to.
in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched
Mhm.
what the family went through, and it was, I was very close to that family, and it was so
Heartbreaking.
heartbreaking what the mother went through.
And it changes their lives forever,
Forever.
forever and ever.
It causes, the stress of it causes health
Yeah.
problems, and
It breaks up marriages and families and
yeah, it's horrible.
mhm.
So
Mhm.
I feel for them.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, guys, let us know what you think. But until our next episode, please remember to see
See
the
the good
good
and
and stay
stay
imperfectly
imperfectly
perfect.
perfect.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.